city lights. The KC journalist, ooh, telling stories in the night. Ooh, every page come to life. Ooh, truth echo through the mic. Hear the sirens, hear the pain. Ooh, history don't fade away. Kansas City remembers. Every word lasts forever. He is the KC trying.
What's the deal, everybody? This is your boy Mack, Malone, the KC journalist, and today we're walking through the bones of a dream, the shadows of the past, and that looks like bullet holes in that sign right there. Are those bullet holes in that sign? Now, with that said, in 1856, this wasn't just a town site. It was a front line. You see, Quindaro was founded as a free state port, and it was a direct middle finger to the slave-holding territory of Missouri, which is just across that water right there. Now, it was a unique, defiant alliance between white abolitionists and the Wyandotte Nation. In fact, the town's very name comes from Nancy Quindaro Brown, who was the Wyandotte wife of founder Abelard Guthrie. Now, they chose this spot because of the natural rock levee that allowed steamboats to dock, and they wanted to build a city of commerce. But history required them to build a sanctuary instead. Now, when you walk these trails, and I'm going to go down these stairs and kind of give you a look at these trails, it is important to remember that every stone here was laid with the intent of keeping Kansas free. You know, Kansas was free at the time. Now, people come here and they often look for tracks when they hear the term Underground Railroad. But the truth is more grounded than that. I mean, it was a system of hideouts, basements, barns, and secret rooms. Even different houses up and down Quindaro still to this day have secret passages and different things from that time and that era. But the Underground Railroad to them was often in the back of a hay wagon or a desperate midnight walk on a dirt trail, not knowing if you would be caught and be killed. You know, the danger here was constant. Slave catchers didn't care about warrants or even the process of the law. If they thought you were hiding a human soul inside your house, they'd break your door down. They did not care. They did not follow the law. And because of that, the air here was really thick with codes. And if you were moving through these woods at night, you carried what they called hush puppies, which was balls of fried cornmeal. And you didn't eat them. You carried them because you threw them to the tracking dogs to keep the dogs from barking. So if there were dogs on your trail, you would take out these little cornmeals and you would throw it at them. And it was a world where a barking dog or a flickering candle could mean the difference between a life of freedom or a life in chains. And some travelers didn't even head north. The trail ran in all directions, even south to Mexico. And you can still see these trails clear as day. They're taped off. I want to go down them so bad. Wherever the shadow of the whip couldn't reach, that's where they wanted to go. Now, as we walk around here, you have to think about Doc Harris. His family still tells the story of how he led a group of enslaved people across the Missouri River when it was frozen solid. Imagine that. They was ice skating across there. Literally walking over the ice, praying that it wouldn't crack. Praying the scouts on the bluffs didn't see them. You know, they had lookouts looking for runaway slaves. People like Clarina Nichols, who lived here, and in 1861 she hid a young girl named Caroline inside her stone cistern, which is a water tank. It's something like a well, while 14 slave hunters camped just down the road. Imagine the cold, damp silence of that girl hiding in the dark while you got men with guns searching for her. And then there was Benjamin Mudge. This guy, Benjamin Mudge, when the hunters pounded on his door, he stood his ground, and he bluffed them, and he shouted that he was heavily armed, and he would kill any man who entered. I dare somebody to come through this door. But he was unarmed, and he was bluffing, and his courage was a stronger shield than any rifle, man. Shouts out to that guy. These people didn't keep journals, you know. It was too risky. Their stories were whispered from generation to generation. And by 1862... the town of Quindaro was technically bust. I mean, the Civil War took the men to the battlefield and the state revoked the town's charter. But while the businesses in the valley crumbled, the spirit moved up the hill. The people who found freedom here stayed. They built the Quindaro Freedmen's School, which eventually became Western University. But it was the first school for African Americans west of the Mississippi. And it wasn't just a school. It was the final stop on the journey from contraband to scholar, you know? So we're at the Overlook. That's what this is, where we're at right now. We're at the Overlook now, looking across the river into Missouri. And you can see how close the danger was. Quindaro is gone as a city, but as a story, it's still alive. It's the story of a river crossed, a cistern that held a life, and a community that decided that no one, not one person, should ever be property again. And you can still see the remnants of the roads here. It's still such a beautiful place right here by the river, man. They should really fix this up. I was reading about the church that was going to do it, and it's been neglected for too long. Anybody that can hear this video right now, put out the word, man. People start talking about it. Tell them to come fix this up. But this is your boy, Mack Malone, the KC Journalist, signing out. Peace.
He's live from the city lights. The KC Journalist, telling stories in the night. Every page come to life. Truth echo through the mic. Hear the sirens, hear the pain. History don't fade away. Kansas City remembers. Every word lasts forever. He is the KC